Hello and welcome to this short series of instructional videos on how you can prepare and invest a Squire as a full member of your Rover Scout crew. I will shortly go through all the equipment you will need in order to invest such a Squire. Please note that you should not video record or publish any Rover Scout ceremony. These are very personal ceremonies between the Rover Scout, who has prepared for a number of months, the skipper, the crew in which support him, and God. These situations should not be shared. Starting with the equipment, you will need water. Some crews, through custom, decide to use holy water, although this is not compulsory. If you do use holy water, please do ensure that it is disposed of in a manner correct to your religious custom. You will need matches. You will need a copy of the New Testament Bible, which during the ceremony is open at significant passages. This Bible plays an important part, although understated part, in the Rover ceremony. You will need a suitable cloth or towel so that your candidate can dry their hands after they have washed them. Again, you will need a suitable receptacle to collect the water so that it can be disposed of afterwards. You will need a small jug to pour the water over the candidate's hands. You will need a thick candle and also a candle holder to protect your flag. You will need a candle holder also in the manner to the one to my right. It needs 3 candles, and preferably one candle will be raised above the others to make a cross. These are quite hard to come by, so a level candle holder like this is more than acceptable. You will need a linen altar cloth, although a linen bed sheet will do if you cannot get an altar cloth. This will form the base of your altar. You will require a St. George's cross. This will go on top of your linen altar cloth, and your other items will go on top of this flag. You will need a cross or a crucifix, although it is encouraged if you have High Church members of the Church of England or Roman Catholic Scouts in your crew to have a crucifix. A cross, though, will suffice. For the purposes of this video, I'm not using a sword, as I find them quite clumsy when practicing. Instead, I would encourage you to use something similar to this. This is just a wicket stump, but this, when seen in this video, imagine it's a sword. Your Rover Scout has already been squired, and he will have certain elements of regalia already on him. These include the Squire's shoulder knot of green and yellow, 2 red Rover Scout garters, and also 2 green epaulets. Most of this regalia will stay on the Rover until shortly after he has been knighted. When he has been knighted, you will remove the shoulder knot of green and yellow and replace with a Rover Knight shoulder knot of red, green and yellow. I will now show you what you need to do to set the altar ready for an investiture. Hello and welcome back to the second part of this video of instruction on how to prepare a Squire in order to be invested into your Rover Scout crew. I'm now going to show you how to set up the altar and explain what I'm doing while I'm doing it. The first thing you need to do is find a suitable place in order to hold your vigil. I'm obviously in my lounge at the moment. At a pinch, you could have one in your house, but it is much more preferred to either be in a chapel, on a campsite, in the open air, or even the church in which you meet if your pastor, vicar or priest will allow you to do so. You need to find a suitable table which is tall enough to the waist and flat. The first thing you'll need to do to prepare your altar is to lay your linen cloth or your linen altar cloth on the top. You need to ensure that it is dead centred so that you have equal hang on both sides. The second thing which you lay on top of that altar cloth is a reminder of our patron saint, and also a reminder of course, Rover Scouting, and that would be the St. George's Cross. Again, you wish to lay this so that the cross is the centre. This is now the basis to your altar. You do need to add some other things which I did not mention in my previous video, but are quite necessary in order for you to invest one of your Rover Squires. Thus being your crew neckerchief. Your Rover Scout should already have a scout hat. And also at the front, which you probably can't see in the video, should be a kneeling cushion. This should be directly in front of your altar. Take the scout hat off your Rover Scout and place it next to your kneeling cushion, along with your neckerchief. You are now ready to start setting the altar. For the purposes of this video, I'll start at the back and work forward. At the very rear of the altar, you should have your candlestick with 3 candles. That places in the centre at the rear. Directly in front of that candlestick, you should have your crucifix or cross. In front of your crucifix or cross, you place your open Bible. Please note that your Rover Scout shoulder knot is within the Bible at certain passages. These passages is the green part of your Rover Scout knot should be at Exodus 20. The yellow part of your Rover Scout shoulder knot should be at Matthew 5 and Matthew 6. And the red part of your shoulder knot should be at Matthew 7. You place your Bible in front of your cross or crucifix, open at your yellow shoulder knot on Matthew 5. On the left hand side of your altar, you can now place your bowl or receptacle for water, and also your small jug containing your holy water or water for the cleansing of hands. Your towel or finger cloth should be folded in a particular manner. It should be folded into thirds and then simply placed over, ready for use when needed. You also place at this part of the altar your thick candle. If you wish to include the presentation of a thumbstick after the investiture, which most Rover crews do, you would place your thumbstick behind your candlestick across the altar. There is only one thing now missing from the altar before a ceremony can take place, that being the sword. The sword goes diagonally from corner to centre. on the right hand side of your altar. This altar is almost set. 5 minutes before your candidate is ready for investiture, I would suggest that you light the big candle to the left, sorry. Do not light the middle candles just yet, as in some groups it is customary for the Rover Squire to light them himself during a certain part of the ceremony. This will be explained in my next video. Although, if you do not take part in this custom, it is perfectly acceptable for your Rover skipper to light the candles behind the crucifix or cross. The altar is now set and is ready for one of the most thought-provoking and significant ceremonies a young scouter or old will have. It is a personal experience that they will not forget. Take the time in preparing your Rover Scout altar and ensure that you set it up correctly and have all the items you need. If you have any questions to ask, please feel free to do that on our British Boy Scouts, British Girl Scout Rover Facebook page, or simply email any of the commissioners. All that's left for me to say now is happy rovering and one for one.